Hello everyone, it's Prajul Pathak this side and watching my YouTube channel pyGuru. Friends, this is the last tutorial in our piano tiles game series, and by the end of this tutorial we'll try to implement few new things to our game, like we'll try to display the score to our game window. Okay, then we'll move to adding a counter so that we can put a counter in our game, like it will say 3 2 1 and then only the game will start. Then there will be extra effect that will be adding, and that part will be optional. It's up to you. If you want to add, you can add, otherwise just leave it. Okay, so let's get started. But before moving to the adding scores, we had issue in the previous tutorial, and I want to fix that issue. And the issue is simple. If I just go there and play this game, it's good. Okay, but the only issue is that if I get out and if I just replay this game, you will see a buzzer sound will still play. See? The buzzer sound was still playing when I was restarting the game. So I want to fix this, and it's very easy to fix. You just have to put an if condition here, extra condition here, and not game over. Okay, and it will be fixed. Okay, so just wait. Uh, so just retry playing this game, and you will find that this buzzer sound will no longer play. Okay, so now let's try to add scores to our game, and then we'll play once again to show both things. To play the game, we have few things that we want to implement here, and that is in the fonts folder. If you see, there are 3 fonts, okay, which we are going to use in our game to show scores. Now again, if you don't have these folders in your file, in your project, just go to the download link given in the video description. Just click it, and you will get all the resources there. Okay. So now let's just import this or add these fonts to our game. So it's very easy to add. Here I'll type fonts here, and let's just load the first font. See, there are 3 fonts, and I want to load all 3. Scope font. This is the font name. Okay. A variable which will store our font. And if you have a custom font, you can load it like this: pygame.font.font. Okay. Here the first F will be small. I made it capital. Here it will be small. So font.font, and here you have to pass the name of your font. So my font is in fonts folder, and its name is Futura Condensed TTF. Okay, .ttf. And here you have to pass the size of your font. Okay, so I'll pass 32 pixels. So this will be the size of my font, or you can say font size. And let me just copy these lines and paste again. Paste it here and paste it here. Looks good. And I will give it a second font name as title font, and I will load here Alternity. I think its name is, let's see, Alternity. Yes, and the font size will be 30 in this case. The next font is final font is Game Over font. Let me just load it also. So Game Over font, and its name is the same Alternity. So let me just copy this line, paste it here. Only the font size will change. Okay, so instead of 32, it will be 40 pixels this time. Now if you want to display something, you can display it like this. Again, see, in pygame everything is an image. Okay, so if we try to write something on a screen, we have to make an image out of it. So you can make an image like this: title img equals title font. We have this font which we just loaded in our game. Now render, this is a method, and here we have to pass the text that we want to show on our screen. So piano tiles, I want to show this thing on my screen. And then there's the second argument. Okay, you just pass it as true, and then your color name by which you want to display the color. So we already have implemented this color tuple in the top. Okay, white equals 255 255 255. This second argument makes sure that you have a smooth curvature of lines in your font. Okay, in your text that you have written. So also it's known as anti-aliasing. Okay, so after loading this thing title image, we can just display it on our screen. So I'll display it here in the home page section. I will display here. Here, let's display it here. Win.blit. Okay, and here we have to pass the name of the image. So our image name is title img. So let's just pass it here, and then you have to pass the position where you want to show it. So I want to show it at this particular position. Width by 2 and then minus title img, sorry, title img dot get width by 2. Okay, now again see what is width by 2. It's 288. Its half will be, I think, 144. Okay, now we are subtracting the half size of our image, title image, to make the text visible in the center. If we don't write this thing, you will find that this text that we have written will not be on the center. We have added this thing to just make it to the center. Okay, that's it. And here I will add 10 more pixels. The second value will be 300. So if I just run this game now, it should be visible on our screen. Let's see if it works or not. And my PC or system takes a little time. So see, it's visible here, piano tile. You can increase the font size to make it more visible, or you can also change the color of your this text, piano tile. Okay. Now the next thing that we want to display on our screen is the scores of our game. So let's try adding score. It's very easy. Let's try to add score. First of all, let's go to the part where we are increasing score. Okay, we'll be having two variables for scores. The first variable will be the score, and the second variable will be high score. High score will keep a count of how much you have scored in the previous games. Okay, if it's greater than score, high score value will change. Otherwise, it will remain same. So let's come to this part here where we are checking for collision detection with the tiles. If score is greater than equal to high score, then what we are going to do, we are just going to make high score equals score. Okay, it means let's say our initial high score is 0. So if our score is let's say 1, our high score will become 1. If our score is 2, our high score will become 2, like this. Okay, it will keep increasing. So that's it. Now everything is done to this part. The only thing that we want to do next is let's do it like this. Just so we have created the high score variable. Now we have to show these variables to our screen. So again, for this we have to make images for this. So we can create an image like this: img1 equals score font dot render, and it will take first few things. So I will pass the f string here. Score, it is equal to the whatever score we have in our score variable. It will be displayed here, and then here we are just going to make it true for anti-aliasing, and for color I will pass white. Okay, and then we have to display it, but let me just copy it. One will be for score and another will be for the high score. Okay, now these scores are visible on our game page. Okay, where we are playing with our games. So now here what we have to do is uh, score. Now let's just display it to our screen. We can do it like this: win.blit, and here we have to pass the image name. My first name is img1, and then here I'll pass 70 minus img1 dot get width and by 2, and here I'll pass height as 100 pixels. Okay, so now let's just copy this line and paste it here. Oops. Paste it here, and here my width will change to, instead of say, oops, sorry, it will change to 200 minus img2 dot get width. Again, it's just to make the it align it to the center. That's all. It should be outside the this parenthesis, so by 2, and it will also be outside the parenthesis by 2. So if I just now run this game, you will see the score will be visible on our screen. So let's just run it and see. Okay, so height doesn't look so good. Okay, let's fix the height thing. Here first of all it will be high score, and so let's not make it score, let's do it for high. Okay, and instead of 100 I'm going to make it 10, and this time it should look good. Okay, yes, it looks good. Still something is missing. We have to fix it. Let's got it. Let's get out. And let me show you. This time if I replay, the buzzer sound was not playing. Here I was displaying the same image img1. I have to make it img2. Okay. Now it will be fixed. The next thing that I want to do is I want to draw few lines on my screen. So I can do it like this. For I in range 4, I want to draw 4 vertical lines to separate tiles. Okay, or you can say I want to create 4 columns. So pygame dot draw dot line. Here I want the first argument is the window, then the color, and then the X position. So my X position will be tile width multiplied by I comma geo. Okay, so it's the initial point of the line and we have to pass the final point of the line. Tile width multiplied by I, and then the Y position will be equal to height, and then you have to pass the thickness of our line. Now if I just run this game, you will see there are 4 vertical lines will be drawn which will separate the tiles, or you can say it will act like a column for the game. Now again it will not show on the home screen but on the game screen. So see, these are 4 vertical lines that we have created. Okay, yes, so this is it. Now the next thing that I want to do is when I want to click on the tile, I want to show how much I have scored. Okay, simply it means that 1 will be shown on the tile. If I click on it, 1 will be displayed on it like this. Okay, so we are just going to implement that part where we will try to show 1 in our game. We'll make it inside a class. Okay, so let's just do this thing. Class text, and it will not it will inherit from pygame dot sprite again. Okay, so our previous tile class has also inherited from it, and then let me just try to copy paste it here. Okay, and let me just paste it here. Only the next thing that will change is this thing. Oops, yes, so we have changed this. There are a few things that this function will take, that is text, font. Okay, the text that we want to show, the font that we want to show, the position, and the window. And it will just simple like this. Control minus, so self dot win equals win. We are going to make a copy of our window. Self dot x, self dot y equals position. Now see, this position will be a tuple which will store the x and y coordinate of our text where we want to show. And self dot initial, it will store my initial position of the text. Okay, it will simply store the initial height of our text. Because this height will change, that's why I am storing it in separate variable. Then self dot image, again we have to render an image. So font, this font will take from the user, font dot render, and here I'm going to pass text. Okay, then true for anti-aliasing, then color. So my color will be white, 255, 255, 255. Then the next thing is that we have to write an update function, def update, and here self dot speed. Now this text will be movable. This text will move along with the tiles. So for this we are just going to add argument or some value with the y position of our text. Okay, so this will keep changing. Here if self dot y minus self dot initial is greater than equal to 100, it means if our text has moved more than 100 pixels from the beginning, then we are just going to destroy that text from the screen. Then now we finally want to blit our text or image that we have created. So self.win.blit, self.image. If you don't want to make it as self.win, you can take window as an argument in the update function also. But here I am just making it as win as an constructor argument. Okay, and here you have to pass the position where we want to display our text. So here either if we have created a rectangle, we could have passed self.rect, but here I am directly passing self.x and self.y. Okay, then so again what this will do is it will if I click on a tile, it will show how much I have scored, and then that score will keep moving along with the tile. So after creating this class, we have to import it in our game. So let's import it text. Okay, then we have to create a new group for our this text. So let me just create it as text group instead of a tile group. Okay, now I want to create a text when we click on the tile. Okay, whenever we click on the, or whenever we collide with our tile, I want to create this text. This, okay, so we can do it here in this part. So T position or tile position, first of all I want to get the tile position where my currently tile is. So we can get it like this, tile dot rect dot center x, okay, minus 10. So it will be like in the middle of the tile, and tile dot rect dot y. Then now we are going to make an object of our text class, and here we have to pass few things. First, the text that we want to display, so I want to display +1, and then the font, so I want to display it using the score font, and then I want to the position we have to pass, and that will be stored in the tpos variable that we have just created above, and then the window, so it will be window variable. Then we just have to add it to a text group, so text group dot add text. Okay, now just all that we have to do is we have to update this thing, so we'll be updating it here where we are displaying our score. So text group dot update, and here we are just going to pass our speed variable, so it should do the job. Just try to run this thing and let's see if it works or not. Okay, so if I click on it, yes, see this +1 was there's a +1 thing on the tile, and it moves along with the tile. Okay? So it's working perfectly. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to show the final score on our on our restart screen. Okay, for example, we should be showing how much our final score is there. So we can do it inside the game over. If game over speed equals 0 and overlay index greater than 0, we are displaying a red overlay on our screen. So here first of all I want to show game over. So let me just copy these things from here. Let me just copy, paste it here, and we'll just modify these things. So img1, and it will show game over. So let me just use the game over font. So game over font dot render, and it will show game over. So game over and true, and color will be white. Let me just cut this line, paste it here, and this will be showing score font. So here it will only those show our score, final score. Okay, so score true white, the rest of the things will be same. Win.grid img1, the position I want to pass is something like this. It should be at the center. So width by 2, and then minus img1 dot get width by 2, and then the y position 180 pixels. That's it. Now img2 I want to display it at, let me just copy this line, paste it here, and img2 dot get width by 250, and only the y position will change here, so 250 pixels. It should do the job, and let's see if it works or not. Okay, there are only few things left to add to a game. With piano tiles it looks good. If we click on it, currently the score and high score both are increasing. Okay, if I just get out now, see game over, score is 9, but it's not showing at the center of our screen. Okay, so let's try to fix it again. If I just replay, this time our high score is getting 0. Okay, so we have to think of it why our high score is getting 0. Okay, so let's try to fix it first, then we'll move. Here the first thing that it was not on the center was because of I was using img1 here. Here I should use img2. Okay, then it should fix the thing. Now our high score is getting 0. Why is that thing? It should be here. If score is greater than equal to high score, and high score we are making it 0. Sorry, we are making it to equal to the score. Why is that thing not working? Okay, we will try to fix it in a second. Okay, so it's very simple issue here, and it's inside where we are displaying the score, I think. Let's go where we were displaying it. Here, I'm displaying score instead of high score. Here we should display the high score thing. Okay, and yes, this should, okay, sorry, this should work now. And if I just run this game now, it should work. So there's one more bug I want to show you. If I click on it multiple times, it plays. Okay, what I'm going to do is only one more I will just play on my screen. Okay, so let's see how can we fix it. So this is the thing, it's showing on the here. Now if I restart it, the high score doesn't change it. Okay, only the score changes. Yes, let's see. So we want to fix it thing, and it's very easy. I think I can do it like this. And tile.alive. Okay, I want to make a score or play the note only if the tile is alive. So we can make a condition here. If our tile is alive, then only our we should be able to play the next note. Okay, but doing this leaves us with an error. So let's try to fix it later. Okay, first let's do the next thing that I want to implement in our game. So the next thing is a counter, and I want to show a counter before I start my game. So again, I will be putting it inside a class. So class counter, and it will inherit from our pygame.sprite class. So let's just copy and paste it here. Pygame.sprite.sprite control D. Let me just copy this thing and paste it here. Okay, and again it will take few things. First the window, and the second the font. So window and font, we only need two things for this. And here what we are going to do is self dot win equals win, self dot font equals font. Okay, and self dot index equals 1. It's kind of a timer thing. Okay, so it will self dot count, it will be equal to 3. Now it means we are in starting from a count of 3, and it will decrease to 1, and then our game will start. So we are going to do it inside the update function or update method. So self, and it will not take any extra argument. And here if self dot index mod by 30 is equal to 0, it means that we will keep increasing the index of, currently it's 1, then we'll add 1 to it, it will become 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if it is divisible at 30, we will just decrease our count variable to decrease it by -1. Okay, so let's just keep adding 1 to our self.index variable. So if self dot count is greater than equal to 0, okay, we have to display 3 to 1. So we only want to display 3 to 1 and not the 0. So we are just making a condition here. If it's greater than 0, not equal to 0, then we have to first create an image. So self dot image equals self dot font dot render. Okay, again this thing will keep changing, this text will keep changing. In the initial text, the text wasn't changing, it was +1 only, but here it will become 3 to 1. That's why we have stored it in a self dot font variable. So self dot counter count, and then we have to pass true here, and then we have to pass the color 255, 255, and 255. Looks good. The next thing that I want to do is I want to show it on my screen. So self dot win dot lit, and I want to show it first the image, and then the position of where we want to display our image. So I want to show it on the middle of the screen, -16 divided by height by 2 -25. It looks good. We are good to go. Let's just import it to our game now. So counter here we have to create one more class for our this group. Okay, counter group. It will store our let's just make an object of it, not a group for it. Okay, because there will be only one counter. So time counter, and it should be equal to counter. This is a class name. Here we have to pass the window and then a font. So game over font, I'll use this font for our uh, counter. Okay, so time counter. The next thing is that we have to update it, and this will be updated in our game page. Okay, here if here first of all we will just keep updating time counter dot update. Again, it doesn't takes any argument. Okay, if time counter dot count is greater than equal to 0, then only we are going to do these things that we have here. So let's just put all of these things in here, indent it. Let's just indent it. Okay, and if I just run this again, you will see there should be a counter on our game screen. So let's see if it works or not. Okay, so here it's showing shell.counter, not working. Why it's not working? What were we doing? Okay, here we have to pass it inside a curly braces, then this should work. So if I just run it now, it should work, except in the restarting it should not be visible. So 3 2 1 and our game starts. Okay, I got out. Now if I replay, this will not be shown. Now it's very easy to fix. All we have to do is we'll just create a new object for our time counter when we restart our game. So let's just do it here where we were restarting the game. Okay, and this will fix the thing. Now the final thing that I have in our game is a little effect. Okay, I want to show a background effect in my game, and for that I have already created a class. This is a square class, and it simply shows the falling squares on our game screen. Okay, see, our game is nearly finished. It's only the final thing that we want to add to our game. It's a effect. Okay, now it's up to you. If you want to update it, add it, you can add, or the game is completed. Okay, that's one issue and we will fix it after this. So I want to add this square. Again, I will explain it in a separate video in detail, how it's working, how to rotate images, all these things we'll discuss in a separate video. Okay, you can just import it if you want to add this effect, otherwise leave it. Okay, again, the code is available in the GitHub, link is in the description. You can go there and just copy paste this code or class. Okay, so here I want to make a new group, and we will name it as square group. So square. Now the next thing that we want to do is, here we will make a variable count. This count variable will keep increasing, so count equals 0, and we will keep increasing here. Count plus equals 1. Okay, initially it is 0 and it will keep increasing. If count not by 100 is equal to 0, then what we want to do, we want to make an object of our square class. So square, and here we have to pass a window, and then square group dot add square. Okay, finally we will make our counter equals 0, not the counter, it's count variable. Okay, so if it's divisible by 100, we'll just make our counter variable back to 0. It's up to you. If you want, you can just leave this line and it will keep increasing, but I just made it 0. Okay, here soon after adding it to a square group, we will just update our square group dot update. Again, it doesn't take anything and it should do the job. With this, our game is finished with one bug, and we'll fix it in a moment. Okay, so okay, it will appear in few seconds whenever. Okay, we have some issue. Let's see what is the issue. Name random is not defined, so I think we have to import random to our game. Import random, and this time it should work. Okay, so objects file, there wasn't the random module, I haven't copied it, so that's why it wasn't working. Okay, see here, this is the falling square that I was talking about. Okay, so it will keep falling down, new squares will be generated like this. The only thing is I can click multiple times on this tile, so we have to fix this thing. Now let's see how can we fix it. Now it's kinda easy to fix, and here we have written a condition with the if condition. Let's just remove this thing, we don't need it with or if condition. Okay, so we'll write it without if condition and we'll put it inside the if condition. For this, what we are going to do, first of all, let me just cut this line and paste it in the end. Okay, and here we are going to check if tile.alive, then only we are going to do these things, otherwise not. So let's just put it inside a oops, sorry. And yes, this should fix that thing, and if I just run this now, it should work. So with this our game ends. If you have any doubt or if something is missing, you can ask in the comment section. Okay, and if you love this game, you like or dislike. I am not able to click it multiple times. Okay, basically. If the game series ends, if you like more games like this, just subscribe to this channel. Okay, and we'll see you in the next tutorial series. Thank you for being here.